The inky vastness of space surrounded me, its depth so profound that it made my heart race. Inside the advanced mech suit, designed for unthinkable tasks, the gentle hum of machinery and my own breath were reminders that I was completely alone. This was it, my mission to divert the trajectory of the deadly comet and save Earth. As the hours drifted by, I found solace in the rhythmic tasks of monitoring systems and ensuring the comet's trajectory was on course. But just as I started to feel a sense of rhythm, my helmet's internal system began to beep insistently. A mechanical voice calmly announced, "Unidentified entities approaching." My heart raced again, but not from isolation this time. Floating all around the suit, spectral forms began to emerge, shimmering and dancing like ethereal jellyfish. Panic set in as I tried to comprehend what I was witnessing. "Control, do you copy? I've got company out here." But the silence that answered was more chilling than the apparitions themselves. Legends spoke of spectral entities, remnants of ancient celestial beings that roamed the abyss of space. Dismissed as tales to spook rookies, their ethereal presence was now unmistakably surrounding my mech. As they drew near, the line between legend and reality began to blur. These specters seemed driven by an intent, a purpose that wasn't immediately clear to me. As they drew closer, they began to interact with my suit. It wasn't just a mere touch, it felt invasive. With each contact, I felt a strange sensation, like currents of energy interfering with the suit's functions. Suddenly, I was no longer in control. The mech jerked and spasmed, pulling me and the comet dangerously closer to Earth. "No, this isn't right," I yelled, my voice filled with a mix of anger and terror. Fighting the controls, I realized that these phantoms had a mastery over the machine that I could never have anticipated. In a desperate bid for control, I engaged the last resort mechanism of the mech suit. It began to absorb the comet's overwhelming energy, its outer shell turning into a solid crystal. As the transformation progressed, I felt strangely insulated, as if I'd been encased in a protective cocoon. As the crystallization process solidified the mech, I sensed the energy within it pulsing and vibrating, much like a heartbeat. I felt a momentary glimmer of hope, thinking the specters would be repelled by this transformation. But reality was crueler. The phantoms, drawn to the crystal's pulsating energy, began to shift and warp. Before my very eyes, their formless shapes became tangible, transforming into grotesque, monstrous entities. Their previous ethereal beauty was replaced by the raw ugliness of nightmares. Now solidified, these creatures launched themselves at my crystallized mech. They clawed, bit, and shrieked, trying to breach the protective barrier. I could hear them clearly now. Their eerie howls and shrieks echoed within my helmet. As their assault intensified, memories of my life on Earth flooded my thoughts. The laughter of my wife and daughter during Sunday picnics, their faces illuminated by the golden hue of sunset. The realization that I might never experience those moments again fueled a desperate resolve. Gathering all my willpower, I tried to tap into the stored energy of the crystal. With a mighty effort, I released a massive blast outward, hoping to scatter these abominations into the void. For a brief moment, the explosion's brilliance illuminated space, and I could see the creatures being torn apart. Relief washed over me, but it was short-lived. As my vision adjusted, I saw it. An endless wave of similar entities, attracted by the explosion, headed straight for me. Broken, without the protection of my once powerful mech, I floated vulnerably in the void. The oxygen level in my suit dwindled, and as my breaths became shallower, the oncoming swarm filled my vision. A profound sadness enveloped me as I realized Earth's impending doom. My last wish, my final desperate thought, was a plea. Someone, anyone, protect them. As the void consumed me, the monstrous entities began to merge, forming an unimaginable behemoth, its haunting gaze fixed on a distant blue dot, Earth. And as I succumbed to the darkness, I heard its first thunderous roar,